Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Joko with GJD Photography, and welcome to yet another product photography for your online store. Today, we'll be looking at a little bit of a different product. We've got this Ramset T4 fuel cells and some nails. So, first things first, I want to set up the product in a similar fashion I did with the same product and shoots and previous shoots. And in order for me to achieve that, I am referencing a photo on the laptop that has the same layout, and that's why I keep peeking back and forth to make sure that I got the same line of view, the same layout of the products as you see on the photo like I have in previous shoots. And the black cardboard I'm using in the back to minimize the reflection of the white background onto the top of the box so that you can see a little bit the logo and the product on top of the box. Make sure I get the correct 3/4 view of our product to give it a little bit of dimension like I have in the previous photos. And I'm focusing on the label on the side because that is the label that will be shown on the shelves. Furthermore, we have a few different photos for this setup. And as you see on the fuel cell, I turned the label, I turned the logo to be visible in camera with one of the nail sets, and it's a simple swapping technique. The nails are a little bit in front of the fuel cell, and the reason for that is so that the lighting doesn't cast a shadow from the fuel cell onto the pins. Furthermore, this was a fun part because I'm using 2 styrofoam boards, and I offered these photos to the client and they actually liked it, where we have a top down and bottom up view of the actual nails. And this is how I achieved that. Instead of shooting them separately, I stuck them on a piece of cardboard. And now the tricky part was to somehow get the pin strip profile photo as well. And I did a little bit of thinking, how could I attach it? And I thought, why don't I just shove 2 pieces of paper into the styrofoam board and then put the nail strip on top. I thought I could balance it on just one, but I couldn't, so I had to put 2 in there and just place the nail strip on top, and it actually worked pretty fine. But what do you think? And we have another view with the nail pin strip looking up, and as a matter of fact, we decided to use in the end to use only the pin strips looking down, because as the client says, that's the only version that makes sense. That's the only version that makes sense, because he never nailed down the pins with the head to the bottom, right? So here I just had another pin strip that I needed to reshoot. It was from a previous shoot, and we just wanted to make sure that I take the photos with the pins looking down. Now, on my next batch, the piece of paper didn't quite work because it was just a little bit of a pain, and I figured I could use nails. I could probably use also thinner needles for this as well, but the nails, they work even better. And I don't know why, but I put the bottom view on top of the nails and the top view on the bottom of the nails, and it's a mistake. It's a human mistake. I didn't really pay attention to what I was doing at the time, but I had to reverse the 2 views in post. because that's how architects draw the actual pin. The head is on top, the nail is on the nail pin is on the bottom. Now we have one more box here of the T4 RAM set. They all look the same, they all look similar, but these are all different models, which means actually the only difference, I believe, could be the actual pin strips, because some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. So I believe that's the only difference between all these different products. And with this last photo, we concluded our photography part of the products. Make sure we have a clean work area. And now let's jump actually into editing, because here I made a few mistakes I probably shouldn't have, but it's a great learning experience so that you can learn with me as well. Now, as you see, I used the object select tool, and it doesn't do a good job. It did a pretty crappy job actually. So then I moved on to the quick selection tool, which yet again, due to the low contrast in the subject and the background, it had a really tough time selecting the subject. So I had to go and make corrections manually in the selection, which took me actually a lot longer than just using another tool that you will see a little bit later on. Was a lot faster as well as more efficient. Now, on the profile pictures of the pin strips, the quick selection was it was doing good, but here with the top view, it was just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And as you see, there's a lot of areas that were skipped, a lot of areas that were missed. And I thought that by going with the brush and manually painting in the areas that were not selected would have been faster, but it wasn't. And as you see, there is quite a little bit of a feather around our pins, and that is not good. We want a crisp selection, which is why I had to which is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that is by manually outlining our product. But like I said, this was very, very time consuming for one reason. So now I decided to use the circular marquee tool. Maybe that would help me with the selection, move it from one pin top to another. But again, no, it did not. It actually made it more painful, because the perspective of the top view does not make, the pin heads are a perfect circle, but the plastic part that they're in is not. So I really had to stop with with that. Yeah, okay. So then I decided, let me try the pen tool, and this is where I kind of kicked myself, because that's what I should have used from the get-go. The pen tool is precise. The selections are, where you want them to be. Yes, it's time consuming, but during the same time, it was taking me to use the other, tools Photoshop offers. I was doing this here in half the time. And with a better selection too, because I have a better control of what is selected. As you see, I am fully able to select the circles, the plastic around the pin strips, even the tiniest small holes and imperfections of the actual product. Yes, it's very tedious. It's somewhat time consuming too. I mean, don't get me wrong. But it's a simplified workflow, and I don't know why I didn't use it before. But I guess I could have gotten away with the, quick selections and the object selection tool. And as you will see in a second here, the selection is okay, it's perfect. The same applies for the for the bottom up views, looking at the bottom of the pin strips. These are not perfect circles, so the circular marquee tool wouldn't have done anything, because due to the perspective, as I said before, it's kind of an ellipse, it's not even a circle. So moving the ellipse from one to another is a lot harder and a lot more time consuming than just using the pen tool and outlining it like a pro, like I should have done it in the first place. And for the profile view of the nail strips, I figured, the object selection tool worked just fine. The magic wand tool was doing a pretty good job on the small enclosed areas. And yes, I still had to go manually and, fix a few things here and there that the object selection tool missed. And one of the reasons I had to do that is because of the low contrast between our product and the background. And there is a way to avoid it, to increase the contrast between your subject and the background by removing your subject from the background. So by putting the background further in the back, and detaching your subject from it, you will be able to achieve that contrast. But in my case, my product was sitting against the styrofoam boards, so it was hard, and I didn't want to look for I didn't want to spend time looking for more solutions when I found one that worked for using and photographing my subjects, my products. And hey, if you're still with me, thank you for watching this far. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So please hit that subscribe, hit that like, comment, give me some of your thoughts. What do you think? I try to make these videos as simple as I can, so that, it's a process. It's a learning process for both you and me. So if you think I did something wrong somewhere, please let me know. Constructive criticism is always welcome, and let's keep it to a respectable level, so both you and I can get something out of it. Other than that, we are coming very close to the end of the video, and it's a similar process from now on with pin strips. And I will just let you watch it to the end. And again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.
That